about your own town or city. Is it busier, more crowded, and more built up than it was 10 years ago? You are witnessing a tiny piece of a massive process. Africa is currently experiencing the fastest rate of urban growth anywhere in the world. To see the scale of this migration, look at a modern capital like Kampala. Every day, thousands of people arrive, filling transport hubs like this one to capacity as they seek out better jobs and schools. Much of this momentum is driven by a youth bulge. Right now, over 60% of Africa's population is under the age of 25. This concentration of young people acts as a physical engine, constantly increasing the density and reshaping the boundaries of our country's largest cities. The migration cycle explains this movement as a one-way flow from rural villages to urban destinations. People leave due to push factors, hardships that force them away, like exhausted soil, long-term drought, or a lack of secondary schools. In many rural districts, every inch of usable hillside is already farmed. For a growing population of young adults, there is no land left to inherit or expand. At the same time, cities offer pull factors. These are the opportunities that draw people in, like the promise of industrial jobs, better equipped hospitals, and reliable electricity. Understanding these two forces, the push of hardship and the pull of opportunity, is the only way to predict how millions of people will move in the coming years. Historically, in places like Europe or China, cities grew because of planned urbanization. People moved to cities specifically because new factories were being built and needed workers. Because industrial demand drove the growth, governments built heavy infrastructure, like power grids and worker housing, before the massive crowds arrived. But we are now seeing an anomaly called the urbanization paradox. In many African nations, people are moving to cities even when there are no factory jobs waiting for them. Comparing the two models reveals a major problem. In the planned model, infrastructure keeps pace with growth. But in the African model, rural poverty pushes people to the cities so fast that unplanned settlements grow before services can be provided. Because people arrive before the jobs and housing are ready, the city is forced to absorb them organically, which creates immense pressure on every public service. Without formal factory work, these new migrants must find ways to survive on their own. They create their own micro-businesses in what is called the informal sector. Instead of working in a plant, a migrant might earn a living through street vending, selling items like sandals or small crafts directly on the pavement. Housing follows a similar pattern. When the population grows faster than the budget for affordable apartments, people are forced to build in unplanned settlements or slums. These areas often lack basic sanitation. Without a formal sewage system, open drainage ditches run right between houses, making it extremely difficult to prevent the spread of diseases like cholera. These slums are a mathematical certainty when the growth of the population outpaces the speed of industrial development and urban planning. To find a solution, we have to look away from the city. What happens to the rural villages when so many people leave? This causes a brain drain. The people migrating are usually the most ambitious and energetic youth who have the skills to seek a better life. When these energetic young people are highly concentrated in cities without formal jobs, it increases the risk of social and political instability. Meanwhile, the rural districts lose the very labor force needed to modernize agriculture and improve local food security. Rapid urbanization creates two simultaneous crises: a housing shortage in the city and a loss of human potential in the countryside. How do we stop this forced migration from overwhelming a single city like Kampala? One strategy is decentralization. By creating smaller satellite towns, governments can provide local hubs for jobs and services closer to where people already live. Investing in infrastructure like these telecommunications towers in smaller settlements helps intercept migration, offering a modern life without the need to move to the capital. We can also make rural areas more attractive by investing in serviced plots, land already connected to water and power, along with better roads to get crops to market. By balancing the scales between the village and the city, we can ensure that Africa's youth are skilled and supported. If we do that, this generation will become the world's largest workforce, turning a logistical challenge into a global opportunity.